couple spend an end of the week at an excursion rental home in the Italian wide open trying to fix their relationship, however before long become casualties of the mortgage holder's evil plans. Brian and Cassie are a couple who choose to remain in a house in Umbria. They are attempting to retouch their relationship, after Cassie was discovered having tipsy sex with a collaborator. From that point forward, Brian has become weak. Cassie goes out for a run, and tumbles down and harms her lower leg. She waves to a passing truck, and an attractive Italian named Federico stops and helps her. He gives her a ride back, and afterward offers to give them a ride to town the following day. They concur, and spend an off-kilter ride there the following day. Brian blames Cassie for not having the option to perceive how Federico takes a gander at her with desire. Sickened, Cassie goes out. Brian becomes inebriated at a bar. Federico goes along with him. Federico welcomes two women to help Brian back to a lodging. Brian and the two women wind up having intercourse. Brian, because of Federico clandestinely tranquilizing his beverage at the bar, has no memory of this and brings a taxi back home. It is shown that Federico has secret cameras all around their home, and is covertly watching them. Federico fires showing up when Brian isn't anywhere near, and Brian finds that Federico isn't their neighbor, regardless of his cases. He takes steps to let Cassie know this. Federico undermines him back by letting him know that he will let Cassie know that he laid down with the two women while plastered. Brian denies this, and in the long run lets Cassie know that Federico isn't who he says he is and to not allow him to visit. Cassie imagines that Federico is only great, until Federico cooks them bunny stew and creepily lets them know the amount he gets a kick out of the chance to chase. Federico sees through his cameras Brian and Cassie making up and wanting to engage in sexual relations. Nauseated, he traps Brian in the basement and passes on a note for Cassie to put on a blindfold. Cassie, thinking the note was from Brian, does as such. Federico kisses and grabs her while taping himself doing as such, and afterward, hearing Brian getting away, sets a video to play it. Simultaneously, he leaves Brian's telephone close to Cassie so she can get it. Cassie sees a video of Brian and the two women engaging in sexual relations in the lodging. Upset, she gets dressed and goes to Brian, and they have a battle, each blaming the other for unfaithfulness. Cassie tosses her telephone at Brian, it misses him and hits a mirror, uncovering a secret camera. They understand that Federico is watching them covertly and alarm. Federico, watching, sees that they have understood and comes over. They argue to be given up, however Federico assaults Brian with a blade. They wrestle, and Cassie gets a stick and hits Federico. Dazed, he falls, and she continues to hit him until he kicks the bucket. Brian stops her and says that she will go down for homicide, however he'll help her. A vehicle pulls up and Brian advises her to wipe up the blood and he'll conceal the body. The guest ends up being Eduardo, the proprietor of the house that Brian called before to grumble about Federico. Brian lets him know that everything was good now, and Eduardo requests to actually look at the house. Eduardo goes to check and Brian and Cassie alarm, considering what to do. They choose to surprise Eduardo and kill him as well. In the interim, Eduardo goes to check the PCs where the cameras were taken care of from, uncovering himself to be an assistant of Federico's. He rewinds the tapes and sees Cassie killing Federico, and proceeds to request that she admit. She denies it while Brian creeps up. Out of nowhere, Eduardo turns and points a firearm at Brian, blaming them for homicide. They deny it, and Cassie wounds Eduardo. He falls and Brian hits him with a stick. Then he takes the firearm and fires Eduardo. Afterward, it is shown Brian and Cassie covering the bodies and afterward Brian finding the PCs and bringing down the cameras. He doesn't find every one of them, notwithstanding. They guarantee each other never to tell anyone of what occurred. Then they at long last have intercourse. The film closes with individuals all over the planet seeing them covering the bodies and being frightened.